Live from Cupertino, California, you're watching the Apple Television Network.
Good morning, and welcome to the first Curriculum Review program. My name is Kathy Gooden, and I'll be your moderator for today's program. This is the first in a series of Apple TV delivered training programs designed to help you with information on K-12 education curriculum. During the next 60 minutes, we will focus on education customer issues and concerns in the area of communication skills curriculum and provide you with training and some tools. Our goal is to provide you with a base foundation of curriculum understanding. During this live broadcast, you will have the opportunity to phone in your questions and comments to Apple presenters and guest educators. Each of the sites where you are watching this program has a broadcast coordinator to assist you with phoning in your questions. Beginning next month, we'll have support materials available for you in hard copy as well as over Apple Link. These materials will be in the Apple TV folder located behind the education icon. Each month we'll be giving an update on what is happening with the Apple K-12 market across the country, highlighting your successes and providing you with a global picture of trends, competitive information, and new product updates. Over the next few months, we'll give you a list of specific program topics and dates. At the end of today's pilot program, please stay tuned for a follow-up discussion so we can get your feedback on content, supplemental materials, and the use of television as a delivery vehicle. Before we get started with our program, here's Betsy Pace, Director of the K-12 Education Group, with an overview of Apple's K-12 Fiscal Year '89 goals and objectives.
Good morning. I'm delighted to have the chance to talk with you this morning. It's been a long time since we've been together as a team. You had an outstanding 1988. You turned in truly a great performance, and you're looking forward to both an exciting and a challenging year in 1989. Our first goal in 1989 is to increase revenue to $650 million by continuing to penetrate K-8 classrooms and introducing networking to classrooms around the country. Our second goal in 1989 is to increase our Macintosh sales to over 20% of the total units we sell by penetrating high school and making sales to administrators. Our third goal is to continue to achieve the recognition that Apple has won in the past as a leader in education. Our success in those goals depends on you. It depends on your success integrating Apple computers into classrooms around the country as critical thinking tools for teachers and students to think, create, and imagine. That's a very difficult task for you. You have to understand the total picture of curriculum as well as the specific educational concepts for integrating technology into classrooms and into curriculum. The purpose of this broadcast and of the monthly broadcasts that will follow in this series is to provide you with some curriculum training to increase your sales. We'll be giving you information and tools. Each month we'll cover a different curriculum area. Today's broadcast will cover communication skills in K through 8. You've begun this year at an absolutely fantastic pace, and I wish you all a very successful December. We're going to begin Q2 with a new leader for Apple Education. As you all know, Dr. Bernie Gifford will be joining us in February. He hails from the New York City Public Schools and from the School of Education at Berkeley. He comes to us well known as a fighter and a change agent, two characteristics that we all know are important at Apple. I think you all join me in welcoming him in the next few months. I wish you and your families all good holidays in the next weeks to come and good selling.
And now with today's latest information on the Apple K-12 education market, here is Marlene Teichert, Market Operations Manager.
Good morning. At the top of the news today is the fantastic first 2 months of fiscal year '89. This can be directly tied to the outstanding effort of you, the K-12 Field Sales Organization, and your ability to continue to secure customer orders in spite of our increase in pricing and the increased competition from IBM. Sales in the first 2 months of this fiscal year for Apple's K-12 market have positioned us at 118% of plan. This was 147% of last year's revenue for the same period. So far, year to date, we have billed $112.4 million. November alone shows a 119% increase over last year's sales figures. Apple still leads the way in market share. We have just received the figures for the 1988 study by the Field Research Corporation, which was conducted for Apple. In public school sales for the 1987-88 school year, we increased our overall market share 6 percentage points to 67%. For that same period, IBM went down 4 percentage points to 19%. Tandy went down 3 percentage points to 5%. You'll hear more about the results of this study in the near future. Plans for the Business of Education Symposium to be held February 1st and 2nd are moving forward. At this early date, 25% of the superintendents have already sent in written confirmation that they will attend. We have an impressive list of attendees, with superintendents from such large cities as Chicago, Philadelphia, and Houston included. By this time, all account executives are to have contacted their superintendents to make travel arrangements. Be sure to send a copy of those arrangements to Karen Normandin as soon as they are confirmed. The Business of Education Symposium promises to be one of the highly impressive Apple conferences of all time. Leading off our success stories for December, Diane DeLuca worked a long time against heavy competition to bring in a $700,000 order for 24 network labs in the elementary schools of Utica, Michigan. And in Santa Ana, California, Joan Doherty from our Newport Beach office conducted a 2-year sales campaign that has paid off with an all-new Macintosh High School on the drawing boards. The Century High School in Santa Ana will open in 1989 with Macintoshes used in all administrative and curricular areas. The first purchase order will be for approximately 144 Mac Pluses, 45 Mac SEs, and 13 Mac 2 file servers. And in late-breaking news, the Cincinnati office just received a $750,000 order, the first of many that will grow into approximately $2 million for Macintosh labs in each of the 24 high schools in Jefferson County School District in Louisville, Kentucky, a lighthouse district for that part of the country. The efforts of Pat Wutan, the K-12 team in the Cincinnati office, and the Apple education dealer have really paid off. Our congratulations to all of you. Each month we will highlight a few of the many success stories across the country. Help us find them by forwarding your success stories to ed.fieldop's Apple Link address. Finally, a major decision was made in Sacramento, California last month when the State Department of Education rejected IBM's literacy programs, Writing to Read and PALS, for adoption into the K-8 curriculum for language arts in California's public schools. Comments from the decision state that Writing to Read does not properly prepare students for writing and composition. Students, while learning basic skills in reading, do not achieve the ability to handle large sentences and composition. This was a positive decision for Apple in California. In Fairfax County, Virginia, they have stopped all purchases of Writing to Read and have recently pulled out 3 of their Writing to Read labs. However, be aware that the challenge of IBM is not lessened by California's decision or the Fairfax County decision. Programs for Writing to Read in preschool and PALS in adult literacy continue to challenge us. IBM continues to step up efforts with the Writing to Read program. There is now a pre-Writing to Read for early childhood, and a Spanish version is expected soon. IBM's strategy for the bigger picture will continue to be tough competition for us as they use PC sales to drive mainframe sales in education. That's the current K-12 market status as of December 9th, 1988. Now, back to Kathy.
Thank you, Marlene. It looks like the major issue for 1989 will be to maintain Apple's leadership while addressing our customers' needs in the K-12 market. One way we will accomplish this is through understanding of the customer's curriculum issues. Today's program focuses on communication skills curriculum. Communication skills refers to the 4 fundamental skills of all human communications: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It's the integration of these skills that allows for the most effective learning and communications. Communication skills curriculum in K-8 schools provides the fundamental instruction children need to succeed in all grades of school and ultimately life. The challenge for educators today is to provide individual attention in the area of communication skills while meeting the needs of diverse student development and ability levels. With varying degrees of language development, parental involvement, and larger class sizes at different stages of development, technology provides a solution to the increasing challenge of our teachers in schools. In our next segment, Barbara Seacrest Nelson, Apple's Elementary System Solutions Manager, will discuss the major issues and concerns in the communication skills curriculum and show you some Apple success stories from across the country. At the end of Barbara's segment, you'll have an opportunity to call in questions. Our operator will assist you. When it's time to place your call, you'll see the number at the bottom of the screen. Please give the operator your name, title, and the location you're calling from. Now here's Barbara.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm Barbara Seacrest Nelson, Apple's Elementary System Solutions Manager. And today we're going to focus on 3 major functions of communication skills in grades K-8. Curriculum concepts, which will help you understand your customers' needs. What are the target populations in K-8? And finally, what are the innovative ways that Apple is helping you to meet your customers' needs? Along the way, we'll hear curriculum integration success stories in K-8, and we'll hear from a renowned educator. Let us begin by thinking about the question, why is it important for you to sell curriculum? During the fall, we have been besieged by the media regarding the integration of computers into the curriculum. We began with the New York Times article in August, which said that while the numbers of computers in classrooms were growing, teachers' applications of those classrooms to instruction were not totally being used effectively. In September, the Office of Technology Assessment released Power On, a report which indicated that there are many successful ways that computers can be used in the classroom. However, we are not doing as much as we can to successfully integrate the technology into the curriculum. And finally, the September issue of Electronic Learning focused specifically on curriculum integration as a major issue in this country. More importantly, perhaps to you, is what is the opportunity for sales in K-8? There are 2 factors that affect this. Number 1 is the fact that the classroom penetration of computers into K-8 is extremely low. The numbers of actual computers in classrooms is very, very low and provides you with a wide opportunity to increase your sales. Additionally, many of you are reporting to us that there is a second wave of purchases going on right now. And in this second wave, customers are asking for very specific solutions to meet the needs of their student populations. Let's begin also by looking at what is curriculum versus what is instruction. Curriculum is the content that's taught in the school. It is the subject matter that is delivered to students. Speaking of delivery, that's what instruction is. Instruction is the delivery method that is being used to deliver the content of the curriculum. Let's hear now about the importance and the difference of curriculum and instruction from Jack Powers, the account executive in the San Francisco area. Now here's Jack to share some of his thoughts.
Apple has to become part of the curriculum, part of the solution. Right now we're supplemental to that process. How we're going to do this would be to move the teacher from the blackboard to the teacher electronic chalkboard. An Apple computer hooked to a PC viewer or some type of large screen output device, whereas the teacher can demonstrate new software, supplement the textbook with supplemental software, bring simulations into the classroom, deliver another modality of the instructional process to the students. The other part of this would be that we have to move the students from pencil and paper to a desktop productivity tool. Once the student hears the lecture or reads the textbook or gathers some information, we have to move that student to a computer to be able to transform this into a report to give back. Those are 2 of the ways that we're going to influence education. bottom line for us as the educational rep in the field is that we have to understand a teacher's roles and the needs of that teacher in the classroom. We need a knowledge of our own Apple products and our third-party products to enable the teacher to better provide these methods in instruction as well as administrative tasks. Once we do this, we're going to be able, through demonstrations of our product and bringing solutions to the classroom, we're going to be able to provide for teachers, administrators, and students much more effective and efficient devices and solutions to enable us to get through the educational process.
The electronic chalkboard that Jack mentioned is only one way to think about computers as a delivery method for instruction. Your job is to help educators understand how to blend curriculum and instruction using computers as a delivery method. We've discussed the broad spectrum of curriculum and instruction. What are the specific communication skills in K-8? They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. An example of a piece of software that covers all of the communication skills can be found in the Talking Text Writer. The Talking Text Writer, which is a part of early language, is a word processor which reinforces the children with auditory means. Using Talking Text Writer, children are able to listen as they hear stories read by the computer or by others, as they speak in conversations or cooperative groups about the writing that they are conducting, and in the reading area as they are reading their own stories or those that others have written, and finally in the writing process itself as they create stories of their own. One software piece alone does not meet our customers' needs today. It is important for us to provide more of a solutions line. And I'd like for us now to look at instructional applications of computers for curriculum delivery. There's a model that we've been developing where we take a look at solutions as school-generated, as models, or as an integrated learning solution or a total solution. The types of solutions that you'll find in the school-generated area include solutions that people are creating using HyperCard or products that are developed around word processing. Common models that you'll be familiar with are the Apple Learning Series. IBM's Writing to Read would also be considered a model for this process. And finally, we move to the integrated learning systems such as ESC or PLC. What does it take for a solution to be successful in a school? It takes 4 integral pieces. You must have the proper hardware, the software to meet student needs. You must have training for the faculty that will be implementing the program. And finally, you must have some means of integration materials to help teachers move along that process. A customer profile is important as you look at this model because the customer's needs are what help you understand where your customer is along this continuum. If we look at the profile of a school system that is interested in creating their own solution, we find that this is a school system who is frequently interested in process applications. They'll use tool-based software to meet the needs of their students. As we mentioned earlier, they might be using HyperCard or a word processing piece of software. Accountability as far as guaranteed student results is not as important to this customer as it is to the customer who is interested in an integrated learning system. Teacher involvement and curriculum control are also important to this model. As you move towards the integrated learning system, the school system sees and desires less teacher involvement in the process, and frequently they have less control of the curriculum than they do at the school-generated end of the model. We'd like to share with you now what is occurring in the second state in the country that has required Apple to respond to a bid that involves hardware, software, integration materials, and training. The bid is occurring in the state of Virginia, where the Virginia team of Jackie Redmond and Jean Longo are meeting the needs of their customers. The program is called A Passport to Literacy Land. Here's Jackie now to tell us a little bit about their efforts in Virginia.
Thank you, Barbara. Welcome, Jackie. Can you tell us a little about your project in Virginia?
Certainly. The name of the project is the Governor's Technology Initiative. It calls for $8.5 million to be spent in fiscal year 1989 to put computers in every 6th grade classroom in the state of Virginia. This is 706 buildings. Every school will receive a minimum of 4 computers and a maximum of 25 computers. They'll be used specifically for remediation in the areas of reading, math, and writing. Right now, we are in the middle of the process, and on Monday, we will be bringing our response to the state. They're calling for an MS-DOS solution as well as an Apple solution. And once the contract is awarded, we'll need to get out to those 137 school